Let me ask you something. How much of your life is controlled by people who don't even think about you? Think about it. The way you dress, the things you say, the risks you avoid, the dreams you push aside. How many of those choices are shaped by the fear of what they might think? But here's the truth. They don't care. Not really. Everyone is too busy worrying about themselves. And yet, we live in a self-made prison ruled by imaginary judges who never actually show up to court. Today, we're breaking out. In this video, I'll show you why we care so much about others' opinions, how this fear sneaks into our minds unnoticed, and, most importantly, how to stop caring for real. Not in a fake, I don't care way while secretly still seeking approval, but in a way that frees you. By the end of this, you'll have the mental tools to stop playing defense in your own life and start living for yourself. Let's get started. Why do we care so much about what others think? It's not because we're weak, it's because we're wired to care. Back in ancient times, survival depended on being accepted by the tribe. If you were rejected, you weren't just unpopular. You were dinner for a saber-toothed tiger. Your brain still carries that ancient programming, screaming at you, fit in or you'll die. But here's the problem. In today's world, rejection doesn't mean death. It just means, what? An awkward moment? A judgmental glance? A negative comment on social media? Nothing actually happens. Yet, our brains treat these as life or death situations. And that's where the illusion begins. Caring about others' opinions is like chasing a shadow. It moves every time you do. No matter what you say or do, someone will always disapprove. You could be the most lovable, generous, talented person on earth, and still, someone will find a reason to dislike you. The world's greatest thinkers, artists, and revolutionaries, all criticized, all misunderstood, and they did it anyway. But let's go even deeper. What if I told you that most people aren't even judging you the way you think they are? We assume that people are constantly evaluating us, analyzing our every move. In reality, most people are too busy worrying about themselves to spend much time thinking about you. Ever walked past a group of strangers and felt like they were silently judging you? 5 minutes later, they don't even remember you exist. Once you realize this, something shifts. The weight lifts. The fear of judgment is mostly an illusion, one that we create and sustain. But now that we see the illusion, how do we break free from it? So we've established that the fear of judgment is mostly an illusion. But let's take this further. Why does this illusion have so much power over us? Because deep down, we confuse approval with self-worth. We think, if they approve of me, I matter. If they don't, I don't. This is where most people get stuck. They shape their personality, choices, even their dreams around what will make them likable, rather than what makes them happy. They become social chameleons, constantly shifting to fit in, never realizing that in the process, they lose themselves. But here's the paradox. The more you chase approval, the less you get it. Think about the people you admire most. Are they constantly trying to please everyone? They have a strong sense of self. They live by their own rules. And ironically, that's what makes others respect them. Here's a little thought experiment. Imagine you meet someone who agrees with everything you say, never challenges your ideas, and is always trying to fit in. Would you respect them? Probably not. They wouldn't feel real. People respect authenticity, not approval seeking. So what's the takeaway here? You don't need to stop caring entirely, that's unrealistic. Instead, you need to care selectively. Care about the opinions of people who genuinely matter. People who support your growth, challenge you to be better, and respect your individuality. Everyone else? Background noise. And here's the final kicker. Even when people do judge you, it says more about them than it does about you. Their criticism is often a reflection of their own insecurities, fears, and limitations. When you realize this, their opinions lose their grip on you. Now, we know why we care and why we shouldn't. Knowing the problem is one thing. Fixing it, that's where the real power is. Here are 4 powerful techniques to stop caring what others think, for real. The 10-10-10 rule. When you catch yourself obsessing over someone's opinion, ask yourself, will this matter in 10 minutes? Will this matter in 10 days? Will this matter in 10 years? Most of the time, the answer is no. That awkward conversation, forgotten in days. That judgmental comment, vanished in weeks. This rule trains your brain to zoom out and see things for what they really are, temporary and insignificant. Next time you hesitate because of what someone might think, run it through this filter and watch how quickly the fear disappears. 2. The spotlight effect. Cure. You think people are watching and judging your every move? Newsflash, they're not. This is called the spotlight effect. Our tendency to believe that people notice us far more than they actually do. To break this illusion, try this simple experiment. Next time you're in public, do something slightly unusual. Wear mismatched socks, ask a random question, or do a small dance move in the grocery store. Observe how few people even notice. The reality? People are too absorbed in their own worlds to care about yours. Once you experience this firsthand, the fear of judgment starts to fade. 3. The who's in the arena test. Before you take criticism seriously, ask yourself, is this person actually in the arena? In other words, is this person putting themselves out there, taking risks, and doing the work? If not, their opinion is just noise. Think about it. Who are the loudest critics in life? Usually, it's not the people who are succeeding. It's the ones watching from the sidelines, the ones too afraid to take action themselves. If someone is criticizing you, but they've never done what you're trying to do, their words hold no weight. Listen to those who are actually in the game, ignore the rest. 4. The authenticity over approval mindset. Let's flip the script. Instead of asking, what will people think of me? Start asking, am I being true to myself? Chasing approval makes you a prisoner, but choosing authenticity makes you powerful. The most magnetic people in the world, the ones we admire, respect, and remember, aren't the ones who tried to please everyone. They're the ones who lived on their own terms. So here's an exercise. Make one decision today based purely on what you want, without worrying about how it looks to others. It could be as simple as wearing an outfit you love, posting your real thoughts online, or saying no to something that doesn't align with you. The more you do this, the stronger your self-trust becomes. Here's the truth. You can't control what others think, but you can control how much you let it affect you. Most of the fear we carry, it's based on illusions. We think people are constantly judging us when, in reality, they're too busy worrying about themselves. We chase approval, thinking it will bring us happiness, when all it does is make us lose ourselves. And we let the opinions of people who don't even matter dictate the way we live. But not anymore. Now, you have the tools to break free. The 10-10-10 rule to put things in perspective, the spotlight effect cure to prove nobody's watching, and the who's in the arena test to filter out useless opinions. So here's your challenge. Pick one of these techniques and try it today, even something small. See for yourself how much lighter life feels when you stop carrying the weight of imaginary judgment. Because at the end of the day, your life is yours. Live it for yourself, not for the approval of people who won't even remember your name in a few years. Now go out there and do something bold. And if anyone has a problem with it, that's their problem, not yours.